shoppers, you are now tuned in to the RadioShorty podcast with DJ Hi Kevin.
We welcome you to the most wonderful podcast that has ever been produced in mankind.
It's the most wonderful podcast ever produced.
Welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience, everybody.
Hey.
Is that not us? Oh, okay.
Is
Hey,
that not
Kevin,
us?
a little mad at you. We welcome you to the Radio Shorty podcast with DJ Hi Kevin. I'm mad at DJ Hi Kevin because, Kevin, you tweeted about the Victoria's Secret song, which is my favorite right now. It's My Bop. Reference for our guest there in a second. The Victoria's Secret song, which is by a girl named Jax. She has another song called 90s Kids, and if you haven't listened to that, it's phenomenal. I love the song. You tweeted that you loved the song.
No, I did
off
not.
The air. What did you say?
I will read it to you, and I will put it in post as well. Hang on. Is this Victoria's Secret song hot as fuck right now, or is it just me? I guess that does imply that I think it's hot as fuck. Let me reword this. Is this song overly popular right now, or is it just me? Is sort of what I wanted to say.
Okay, well, you didn't say that. So
It
made me
right.
think like I literally read the tweet and I was like, oh my God, like he loves that song too. And I love her as an artist. I follow her on TikTok and Instagram and fucking MySpace and all the fucking places, right? Jax is my girl. Okay. So I tweeted you and I tagged her, and within like 3 seconds she followed me and I fell out of bed. I literally was like, whoa, huh? What? Like, huh?
Shorty, I tweeted that at 2:22 p.m. What are you doing falling out of?
No, I don't see it right when you tweet it. I don't have alerts on. Okay? Okay?
Ring the bell.
I'm mad because off air you said that you did not, you necessarily don't like the song.
I feel like
here we
I'm
go.
barking up the wrong tree with this.
Yeah, right.
Because I think Jax seems like an awesome artist. There's something about her voice that's super cool. She's got like this little lisp that I just fucking like melts me.
Right.
However, I do think that it's just such a, so she like doesn't rhyme a lot, and I don't think it's like a
Doesn't
super
matter.
well structured.
Doesn't matter. The
To you,
Victoria's
it
Secret
doesn't matter.
song.
To me, it matters. I'm allowed to have my opinion about the fucking
not.
song, Shorty.
You're not.
Yes, I am. This
You're
is my
wrong.
opinion.
Your opinion
and I
is
have
wrong.
it, and I am right in my eyes. So that's
Listen,
where
I want you to do me
I'm
a
gonna leave
favor.
it.
We're going to put a pin in this, okay? I love Jax. She's my favorite artist right now on the planet. Put a pin in it. I want you to go to TikTok and Instagram and go watch her videos. Dude, they're phenomenal.
I'm not saying I don't like her.
Well, just I want you to like her, okay? This is my whole fucking goal, is for you just to love people.
Ready? You like Kanye?
As an artist, yeah, I think he's great.
What about as a person?
He's a fucking batshit.
So if I
person.
don't like her as an artist, but I like her as a person, that's not allowed?
You haven't given her a chance.
I literally gave her a chance.
You gave her one chance. You gave her one song. You haven't heard 90s Kids, which was the summer song
Okay.
last
Well,
year.
have you ever, what's that boopity scoop song that Kanye did?
The fuck is that?
See?
I don't know that.
So there
Listen,
goes my example. Well, it's him literally going boopity scoop, scoopity whoopity whoop, or something like that. It's like a meme
fuck,
of
these
a
artists
song.
make so much money.
I know he makes so much money, and all he does is say scoopity boop and stuff like that. So all I'm saying is I appreciate her message for body dysmorphia and for having confidence in the fact that for the first time she like showed her face and put out a song and felt good about it, and that makes me feel great for her. She did something she
That's
needed
not the
to
first
do.
time she put a song out. That's not her first
I'm not saying the
song.
first.
That's not
Whatever.
her-
She's tweeted something about how. All right, I'm off this topic. I'm off it.
Listen,
off it.
Our guest today also
I'm
worked at
sweating.
Victoria's Secret, okay?
Yeah, we learned
He
that.
also
we
worked at
learned
Victoria's Secret, and I can't wait for him to chime in on this fucking conversation and be like, yeah, Shorty, you're right. Fuck Kevin.
It's Mr. Bop Right himself, DJ Iron Mike, everyone.
What's going on?
What's up, man?
Iron Mike, if you're not on my side, we hang up on you, okay? So here's the
I don't know. I don't know if I'm on any side here. Yeah, I know. So I worked at Victoria's Secret Pink as a DJ, not as a like a sales rep or retail or anything like that.
Oh, I thought you were selling bras.
No. No, I didn't do that. But the girl I worked with, I DJ'd her wedding about 10 years ago. She's the general manager. She manages a bunch of stuff. I think both stores at Ocean County Mall. And I saw that come on TikTok radio on Sirius XM, and I took a picture of like the screen with the title and everything. Her son is named Jackson, but everybody calls him Jax.
Jax.
And it's like Victoria. I didn't even listen to the lyrics yet. I'm like, whoa, what are the odds? And all of a sudden I start hearing, I go, oh, wait a minute. Like, this song is not portraying Victoria's Secret in a good light.
Well,
No.
she wasn't trying to like bash Victoria's Secret. Like, she was just trying to bring to light that like there are girls that go through, that all of us do, guys, girls, whatever. They go through school and we get bullied and that sort of thing. And
Sure.
so she was kind of bringing to light that. And I will say, like, I sat there and listened to the song. I'm like, you know what? Back in our day, like, it was kind of like that. Like, all the models were like 110 pounds, fucking sticks, bikinis. And I'm like, nah, man, give me a little thicky thick. What are we doing here? So like,
Curves.
So,
yeah, bro,
so I'll give
all
you the
day.
response. So Lauren, she said, if she had released that song maybe like 2 years ago, then I could be like, yeah, you got us, because she's been, she as in Lauren has been pushing for, larger sizes and sizes for, different types of, body
100%.
types and all that. But she's like, we've addressed this, and, we've been changing for the last couple of years. So it doesn't make sense for this to be popular right now. And, Victoria's Secret put out like a statement or whatever. And, they're kind of going back and forth. I guess it's just like a stalemate. But
So
here's my opinion.
The song is basically, go ahead, Mike.
On the song, when I heard it, I go, oh, I'm like, this is probably going to be pretty big.
Because it's okay. So the lyrics are, the hook of it is, I know Victoria's Secret, and girl, you wouldn't believe, she's an old man who lives in Ohio, making money off of girls like me, cashing in on body issues, selling skin and bones with big boobs. I know Victoria's Secret. So she's basically like calling out the guy that owns Victoria's Secret. Ironically enough, that when the song came out, the Hulu has a documentary about Victoria's Secret, and about how Michael, you were talking about where, Victoria's Secret is like, we want this one, type of person on our magazines and our commercials. So, and I'm joking with Kevin. I don't care whether you like her or not. Like, that was just me kind of like busting your balls. But like, I do think that it's not a song for any of us. It is really for girls who, and more or less, like, because her audience is younger. Her audience is that TikTok generation, and so there is that peer pressure of like, I've got to be this skinny, or I've got to be this weight, or I've got to, my toes have to be, there's like so many things that these girls go through. So I think that, look, man, I dig her. I think she's awesome. And she followed me on Twitter, Kevin.
Oh,
okay?
look at that.
That's what I'm trying to say.
She didn't follow me, so that's my gripe. Maybe I'm just super jealous.
That's what it is. And, I probably could have played it last night at Rutgers at Huey's nightclub. But I think there is like this, my friendship with Lauren is that of like, oh man, she doesn't like the song. I'm not playing it anywhere, but at some point it's just going to happen,
The song is number one across like iTunes, Spotify, every radio chart. Like, I mean, it's there.
I'm
so
going to
I
have
think
to
if you
play it
played,
next
especially
Tuesday.
in a college bar.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's
it'd
happening
pop off
next
for sure.
Tuesday. There's no question.
You play the hook and then you get out. That's sort of where, like, I think that's the type of song that for us, right? You play the hook and you get out. Right.
Yeah, that
go
hook
one
right
verse.
there, like, I know Victoria's Secret, you fucking play that hook, and then you're back, you play Corn after that. I love Corn,
No, that's not happening.
You don't want to
That's
play
not
Corn?
happening.
Nah.
I mean, like, I guess I'm waiting for Spinelli's TikTok wordplay or something, and then it actually goes into like a Corn song or something, like there's something there, right?
Nick.
There is something there.
Nick, I know you don't listen, but Nick, the Corn TikTok into Corn. It's pretty good.
Yeah, that's it.
So, Iron Mike, I met you for the first time in DJ Expo. You actually ran up to Kevin and I, like, ran up to us. And you
in
gave us
slow
so much
motion.
praise about. You gave us so much praise about the show.
Hang on, everybody do the slow motion run real quick so I can edit this.
Yo, I don't think
Shorty.
that song's on Spotify, by the way.
Corn?
Shit.
No, Van Giles, the Chariots of Fire thing.
The Chariots of Fire song?
Yeah.
Was it not?
Actually, I don't think it is, but that was a long time ago. I used to shoot video and I used to shoot commercials. And I did one for a dealership, and they wanted to do like that Chariots of Fire thing, and I had to find like another song to put in their commercial that had like the similar like cadence of it all.
Yeah, there you go.
So maybe I'll just pull up that, see if I can find that song again.
Yeah, I had just arrived, and I was visiting the man over at the Bun booth, and you guys were just there, and it's like, and it's funny because we had our connection through the show and through talking about Bop Right. Shop Right Bangers, and sometimes you don't know what to expect out of people at DJ Expo, at DJ X now that they call it, and you guys couldn't have been more cool. There are some times where you run in my head it would have been like, oh hey, what's going on? Oh, it's the Bop Right guy. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, all right, see you later. You could.
We literally drug you out into the lobby to talk to you. Like we were like, you're the Bop Right. Like we were just as excited to meet you.
You want to go stand in the corner and put a microphone up to your mouth and have my fiance like record us real quick? Like,
yeah,
it's cool. I don't feel like I could have or I quite delivered just because it was like I just got there and it was just like all these things processed. Like, is there a seminar happening? Is this going on? Oh, my friend is that way. You know what I mean? It's like, so I was definitely into doing it, but I don't feel like I was totally like locked in, if that makes sense.
Also to preface, like, we just do a dumb podcast. We're not in any, like you were talking about, like, and I know what you mean. Like you walk up to people and meet them and they're kind of like, yeah, what's up, bro? Like, and then you're like, well, that was it. Like, I don't get to, I had that a few times at a DJX. And so I kind of felt a little
good talk.
Shafted,
Yeah, but because people are different online sometimes. And
there's definitely a persona. I don't know. Kevin and I are just the same dumb kids in person. I think that we are on the video, or as you're listening in your ears. So
no, it's great. No, it comes out in real life, which is cool. One of the nights, it comes out in real time. One of the nights we were partying and I went to hit the boardwalk, and I got to bring up this bone at some point, Shorty. I got a bone to pick with you on this, and I think I'm gonna help. I think I'm gonna help you here, but all right. Anyway, so I went on the boardwalk like super late to see if there was any food, and there's like nothing. And I think it's more like a post-pandemic thing where they just don't have late night food available out there like they used to. So I settled for like the food place upstairs past the lobby once you go up the escalator, and I get like this $26 turkey club sandwich and onion ring combo.
Yeah.
So I'm like, it's got this mountain of lettuce on it. I like get rid of the lettuce, and they got like one of the pickles on the side, and and I swear, Hi Kevin just walks by, and he sees like the edge of the pickle sticking up out of the mountain of lettuce, and he goes, "Hey bro, you gonna use that pickle?" I'm like, dude. I go, yeah, I like pickles actually, but I'm like, how did you even see that? How did you see that pickle?
Kevin, what are we doing?
Bro, hang on. I think I actually have the receipt from the meal that I got right there. Yeah, oh geez, of course the whole thing. So the turkey club was $15,
right.
$15.99.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, I just want to say.
Well, I got that.
That was like the one night that I was up really late. I think it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, right?
Yep. Yeah, I was up till like 3:30.
Yeah, and I was just
I didn't stay out late at all. I mean,
Shorty didn't stay out past 8 p.m. the entire time.
I really didn't.
Wow. Yeah, you got to work on that.
The first night, no. The first night we went to go see Aiden.
Okay, that's true.
Okay.
The first night we were out to like 1 or 2. And let me tell you something, man. Those fucking fish people.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
Fucking fish concert.
Yeah, you can't get food on the boardwalk, but you can get fucking whippets. Like,
yeah,
I've DJ'd for that crowd before there. Nice. Yeah, you could actually like get into some like deeper, funkier stuff, which is cool. Like there's no expectation for you to play Fish, but you could play like Parliament and like James Brown and stuff like that, and they'll vibe to that, which is cool. But here, you ready for my bone?
Yeah, bone.
Wait, no, but yeah.
Here's the bone I'm gonna pick with you, man. And I know you're from out of state. You went to Margaritaville and Land Shark on this trip? What?
First off, I'm from New Jersey originally.
Well, I mean, okay, then that's
but I
even
have
worse.
lived in South Carolina.
That's right.
For a
that's
long
right.
time.
Okay.
So to be fair, I went to Landshark twice, and then I went to Margaritaville. So here's the thing: is that it's just right there.
I know.
Like, I just want to eat. I just want to.
I figured that,
and I didn't.
It's a convenience. I get it. But listen,
And
man.
for me, like, what's wrong? First off, hold on. I have a bone to pick with you.
Okay.
DJ Iron, Mikey D. What's wrong with Landshark?
It's mediocre chain food, and it's
Bro, here's the thing. Would you rather have a $15 turkey club that was cooked or that was made 4 days ago and they just like threw it on a plate, or you go to Landshark and you get a $15 fish and chips?
I didn't. That was the only option. That's the thing. It was 3:30 in the morning, so that's why I went to. That's the only place that would be considered like in-house or chain that I went to. I highly recommend if you're going to DJX. This is for other people, but we can do this next year, man. I'm gonna help you guys out, especially you, Shorty. Support the local places. We went to what was it, Tony Baloney's or whatever. Go to White House. Go to
House.
Tony's Baltimore Grill. Doc's. Doc's is awesome.
Are they on the boardwalk or are they like off?
I hope I'm calling it the right thing. I think it's Tony Baloney's. Whatever. Yeah, that's pretty. It's like 5 minutes from Ocean. So like it's like a 10-15 minute walk. But yeah, there's just a lot of things that you could do at the expo to enhance your experience. It has absolutely nothing to do with the program itself, who's there, who's presenting, who's performing, any of that. And to me, that's one of them. That's one of the things. Don't get sucked into the food trap of the Jimmy Buffett restaurants.
Tony Baloney. Tony Baloney's.
It's Tony Baloney's.
Tony Baloney's is located at 300 Oriental Avenue, Atlantic City, New Jersey.
The light blue properties in Monopoly. Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Is with family that live in New Jersey, and I frequented AC very often. I've been always told, don't go off the boardwalk unless you're going home. Right?
Do this during the day.
Yeah, definitely.
Like broad daylight, please.
So Nate Nelson and the Hot Q's boys, they all got a house on Atlantic Ave. And Demand goes, we'll just walk it. And I was like, I even was like, I mean, do we have to? So, we walked. And there's literally, like, as we're walking, there's 3-4 cop cars flying down the road. There's 4 ambulances flying down. They all screech at a liquor store, like, right by the house. And I think Nate later told me that, like, that was the 4th time that, that had happened since they had been there. So, again, I have just always been told, if you're going to Atlantic City, stay along the boardwalk.
That's fair.
But I will say, Tony Baloney, I'm looking at Tony Baloney's website. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, I got this, like, I think it had, like, Nashville chicken sub. Oh, man, it's so good. If
Their catchphrase is good grub for badass people.
There you go. I like it. That's a good.
Shorty, you just said that like you did their commercial.
Yeah,
good grub for badass people. All right, free plug.
Visit
free plug for Tony Baloney. Not an ad.
Code DJ High Kevin for 30% chicken.
That was a sweet
30% chicken
plug. But yeah, I'll talk a little DJX for a second. That
please.
was my 15th in a row, which is cool.
Holy shnipe!
Yeah,
very cool.
I started going in 08. My boss at Ambient DJs, Greg Holman, he recommended it to me and my boy Chris Smith, DJ Spins, and we were like kind of skeptical. What is this? I had never really heard about it before at the time. So this is a piece of advice that I recommend to anybody that's never been in the expo. Just go, if you're going for the first time, just go for one day. Just because if it's not your thing, you're not there for 2, 3, 4 days. You didn't lock yourself in. And you could find out if this is something that you'd be interested in doing again. So that first year, we just went for the afternoon. I think it was like the Wednesday. They had a raffle like Pioneer did, and I won one of the tickets. And we get on stage, and it's between me and this other guy, and they had like couple random trivia questions. We both were at a tie, and then the guy's like, "Okay, this is the tiebreaker. How many coins does it take to make 50 cent?" And I'm like, 2. And it's like, boom, got it. So I had won a Pioneer CDJ, and then the other guy got like headphones. And so that was
Really?
like, yeah. And then I won a push-up contest at one of the booths. Yeah. I mean, I'm not the most in shape guy, but I beat like some like seriously out of shape DJ. Like, you know,
Sorry, that's me. I shouldn't laugh at that. I'm sorry.
I always think
I'm in that boat.
you probably never seen it, Shorty. You ever see Kingpin? With
Oh my God, yeah, with Woody?
Bill Murray, yeah, Woody Harrelson.
It's a bowling movie, Shorty. I don't know if that might ring a bell.
There's this. Oh, you got to see that, man. It's a great movie. I know you're not.
So good.
I know you're not a movie guy, but
so good.
We've said it 1,000. Somebody make me a list and I'll go through and watch it. I promise. Dude. Instead of DMing me eggplant emojis, guys that listen to the show, why don't you DM me suggestions on what to watch as far as movies? How about that?
Yeah. So there's a line in there where the one character he says they do this pan of like bowlers, professional bowlers sitting on their chairs, like warming up or getting ready. And he's like, man, it's pretty intimidating to be in the presence of all these professional athletes or something to that effect. And it always reminds me to see some of these guys at the expo, which is bad. But anyway.
No, you're right. You're not wrong, though.
Yeah. So I won a push-up contest for a $25 Exxon card. And this is like all in.
Exxon.
Yeah. This is in.
That's dating you right there by calling it Exxon.
Yeah, it was an
right?
Exxon card. What do they call it now?
What is it now?
Oh, it's Exxon Mobil, but mostly it's mobile,
Oh,
like at least up in the Northeast.
Oh, gotcha.
I think.
Yeah, so won that. And just being around and, you know, when you first hit that floor for the first time, it's like, whoa, this is nuts. So I recommend that to anybody. If you've never gone to DJX, I highly recommend it. But just do maybe a portion of a day. Don't go all in right away and see if you like it. And if you do, then next year you do more days.
Great piece of advice. Yeah.
And don't eat at Land Shark.
What's that?
And don't eat at Land Shark.
I did, you know, and I had it once. It was fine. It was whatever. It was the combination. It was like, oh, he went to Margaritaville and Land Shark? Really?
First off, because Kevin's not saying anything right now, and I'm going to throw Kevin under the fucking train. I had to meet Kevin at Margaritaville. Kevin texts me and goes, hey, come down to Margaritaville and meet me and Teddy.
Well, if you're going to throw me under the bus, then Teddy's not here, so I'm going to blame her because everything's Teddy's fault.
I will
it's
say
all Teddy's fault.
The nachos are okay there.
So we actually got the nachos at Margaritaville. So I will 100% prefer Margaritaville over Land Shark. Land Shark's just really nice because, frankly, I locked Teddy inside the hotel the entire time. We had talked about going to the beach at some point, you know, just so that she could get out there. And it never happens. It never happens,
dude. In 15 years, I have never said...
I can't wear sneakers on the beach?
I've never...
Like, what?
I've packed... certain years, I packed a bathing suit. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. At some point, that never happens.
I packed 2 bathing suits.
We had a pool.
And
me and my boy DJ Spins, there was a pool on our floor, walking distance. Never made it to that pool. But we're not supposed to. It's really about, you know, participating in the DJ stuff.
Yeah.
So I will say the seminars, I was excited to see. I don't know if it was like an illusion because a lot of the rooms were packed with people that wanted to be there and hear people. I don't know if they just made those rooms smaller. There were less chairs or whatever. But I wasn't crazy about the way some of those panels were organized. Unfortunately, I think some of those, you know, they treat it as if people don't really know who some of these people are. And like, you know, the Nick Spinellis, the Cleveland Terrys, Rachel Lynch, you know, all of them, they're pretty well known at this point. And a lot of people were in that room specifically to see them, not just like, oh, this is a seminar about XYZ. It was more about hearing what they had to say. And I'm like, man, just let them rip. Just let them go. Just let them say their stuff. I mean, that's it. You know, that's really what people were there for. And
So what? So I wasn't there. What was it? Was it like a Q&A? Is that what they were doing?
no, they would have topics, but the big issue, and I encountered this in my own panel about 4 or 5 years ago. I did two panels. One, which was on State of the Crate. It was about building good Serato crates.
Okay.
So I did that, and that was a cool experience. We had DJ Dreo Valle on there, DJ Johnny V was on there, a couple good guys, and it was just basically talking about. I was preaching, believe it or not, when you look at Bob Ray, I was preaching less is more, because some people just they brag about having, I got 100 gigabytes or whatever. What's the terabits? I got
2 terabytes of fucking music.
and you're not using all that, right? So
my favorite from DJs, like, and this has happened like more, I guess, like back in the day than today, but like when they would promote their DJ, business on Facebook or wherever, they'd be like, 500,000 song catalog, and I'm like, are you going to play 500,000 songs?
They're not playing 1% of that.
yeah,
Right.
Like,
it's like a grocery store promoting that they have 100,000 pieces of food. You're not going there to buy all of it. You're not going to use all of it.
No.
You don't have the time to.
we've got 97 different kinds of mustard. Like, who the fuck cares?
Yeah, so that was I don't remember everything I said at that panel. But yeah, the second panel I did was a shit show. That was about like social media, and I remember we went into Q&A way too early. That's a mistake that some of these speakers make, or maybe they're running low on time, or they didn't time out their set. Like Mike Walter's never gonna, he is so precise with his seminars. Like he's got it like down to a science. And the other guys, and girls, I don't think they do that. And then they like, oh crap, we got 25 minutes. All right, Q&A, everybody. And then there's some maniacs that just ask these like ridiculous questions, or they like just start stroking, these, and they're cool people,
Right.
but they're real people. You don't have to like, and I think it kind of embarrasses them a little bit. I don't know if some of these internet, I don't know, viral DJs, I don't know, is there a term for these guys? Are ready.
Regular people?
Yeah, they're still regular people.
They're just regular people.
And I think it surprises them with the amount of adulation they get sometimes, seeing Rachel Lynch walking around the expo floor recording for like 4 straight hours. This makes me think, she wanted to record for 4 straight hours, but she probably wanted to avoid all the maniacs too.
That, 100%.
It's really funny you bring that up, because I was at Nex in Vegas in February, and Demand was like, doing his Demand stuff and scratching and stuff. And Rachel comes up and is like filming it, and was like, kind of filming Demand and filming and scratching. And I literally all I said was like, hey, what's up? And like she said, hey, and then that was it. Like I just left her the fuck alone. Like then let her continue to record and let her to continue to do her thing. And I remember, well, I vaguely remember, and I've told the story on the show before, so you may have heard this, where like at the end of the night, there's like this huge party, and I was blown out. Like I had vods and tons like left and right. I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And I was drunk, and I remember like Rachel came up at the end though, and she's like, hey, I just want to say, like, I wasn't ignoring you on the floor. I was just filming. And I literally looked at her, I was like, dude, like you're working. Like I don't want to bother you. It's kind of the same thing with Nick. Like I've talked to Kevin about this off the show, and I saw Nick in an elevator. Swear to God, the elevator door opened and it was like Nick, and I felt so bad because it was Nick Spinelli in the middle, and then there's 300 people crowded around him, and you could just tell he was like, I want to be anywhere in the world other than this elevator.
There's no way he enjoys that.
And then my asshole gets on. Like then I'm like the 301 million person on the elevator. But like I don't want to. And I think I've said this to Kevin about Jana. Like I don't know. Like they get that so fucking much where they're like, people just want to like jump on their back and be like, I love you, which is fine. I get it, but I don't know.
It's a thin line. I mean, I think that you got to try to see it both ways. And I don't want to characterize everybody that way. One of the DJs with our company, he was a big fan of Rachel Lynch, and he was so excited, like legitimately excited to meet her, and and get selfies with her. I'm like, man, that's so cool. I remember, seeing certain people, and getting that excited at the expo. Not that this is in any comparison, but there was one year where Grandmaster Flash just like walked in as like just like a guest, or like a registered dude. He wasn't on the bill. He wasn't promoted. And
he was just there to kick it?
He's just there. I think, who was it? Grandmaster Kaz? No. Grand Wizard Theodore was DJing, and they're close. So I think he just came out to check that out. And he walks in, and it's the same thing. It was like the thing with the elevator with Nick Spinelli. It was like, like the beam of light. I'm like, it's Grandmaster Flash. Like, he's the reason why we're here. Why we're here, right? And I went up to him immediately, and I could just sense this, like, oh, crap, man. Now, this guy's coming up to me. Who else is like, man, I can't, people just leave me alone. So, but then you got to, like, add something to it. Like, you can't just be, oh, man, you're the best dude or whatever. Like, I was like, hey, man, I read your autobiography. It was, some of that stuff was so cool. And I, like, explained, this one story, and I could just feel the demeanor of the conversation change.
Yeah.
He was super cool after that. So, that's my advice.
That's a great example. Like, that's a perfect example of, like, for anyone that's like listening and may like see people who, they want to meet and talk to, like, give them something to talk about. I remember, dude, I was at a concert once with the station I worked for, and it was Andy Grammer and Train, I think. Yeah. And I had been drinking a little bit, and all of a sudden, like, we were going to go do the meet and greet, and I'd been drinking a little bit. Just want to preface that. Pat comes out from Train, and I literally, just without even thinking, because I know he's a Howard Stern fan, I literally yelled, Baba Booey! And I was like, oh my God, why the fuck did I just do that? Like, I was like, I'm a fucking idiot. But me yelling that literally turned into me and Pat talking for like 10 minutes about the Howard Stern show. Oh man, did you catch today's show and blah, blah, blah. And I was kind of talking to him about being on the show a couple times. But yeah, there is a difference of, fangirling, or fanguying, I guess, or walking up to Nick and be like, hey man, like, I remember back in the day, 5 years ago, you did this video and it said blah, 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 blah. It's cool to see your transition from that to where you are now.
I spoke to him one of the late nights where I had some beverages, and I had said, I forget how it came up, and he had that same, like, oh boy, and I said, you know what? I go, fuck Sid, I hate Sid. He goes, yes, because that was
fucking
one of his
Sid.
Yeah, so I remembered that about the show, and he like, okay,
the request guy, right?
Yep,
he had like 3 requests, and he like requested, so
explain it to me, because I don't understand.
So Nick had this one guest who apparently was like wicked tall and looked like Sid from Ice Age. The sloth with the okay, nice. Pixar movies hit for Shorty. Cool. We got that. What's just super funny is Mike's camera is like 10 times clearer than yours.
Dude, it really is.
Android baby.
But yeah, so Sid came up and he had like one good request or something like that people liked. And then he got like request confident, and he came up and like requested "Yeah" by Usher, and of course
it was like obvious stuff.
We all know those guys.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
If you play this, they're gonna go crazy.
It's gonna go off.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we know. This is our job, dude.
I don't understand.
So yeah, that's Sid. It's sort of like Chuck for like a version of
Joe.
Chuck for Joe. Yeah,
Joe Bun.
Sorry, I'm.
Yeah, speaking of Joe Bun, like, did you guys see the video of Joe wearing he's got the glasses now, the
yes,
but they've got the camera in them.
With the camera built into it.
Right. So the girl comes up. I think they're made by Facebook or Meta. So the girl comes up and requests the song. I don't know what it was, but he's playing
WAP.
Yeah, but he's playing like fucking Pitbull. It's 130 beats per minute. Like dude, the crowd is just like jamming out. They're jumping up and down.
You can play WAP with that.
Yeah, but there's Scooter has a WAP edit at 128.
Maybe I just hate the song, and I'm with Joe because he literally, like, you see him like shake his head, like you see the camera literally like go no.
That's the funniest angle I've ever seen from a video like that.
She pulls the line, "Oh, it's the bride's favorite." Like, and then like I'm like, bro, look behind you. Everyone is fucking jumping up and down. The bride, I don't know if she did or didn't put it on our must play, but I don't know. It pissed me off. I literally was like, I watched the video like 3 times, and the girl was just like, "Can you play WAP?" And she almost looked like the girl that was like, "To Sambuca" or whatever when she thought
Oh, like ordering. Yeah.
Far Sambuca. This is the DJ booth, honey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Far.
I think that's. I mean,
Far.
I guess depending on how it gets analyzed, I think mine's 132, because I mixed that with no hands a decent amount.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't like the
Nice.
song.
See,
And I
you
know
like-
I should.
Here's another bone to pick, man.
Oh man.
And I like
What
you,
is this
Shorty.
thing?
I do.
What is
You're a
this?
cool guy. You are. I'm like, I'm coming in this. I want to be fair,
You're a cool guy, but
but no.
Boy, you're an asshole.
Seinfeld, the DJ podcast. You let your hatred or dislike get in the way too much. And I know I said I didn't play the Victoria's Secret song. I'm gonna end up playing it, and I have
You
to.
are. You're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're gonna sing it.
You're
They're gonna.
Mike, you're gonna be in the fucking car, and you're gonna be like, "I know Victoria's Secret." You're just gonna be fucking jamming out.
I don't know,
You're
but
gonna pull
I-
up to a red light
But a college.
in Hoboken or wherever the fuck you live, and some guy's gonna be like, "Wait, what's this guy doing right now?"
Yeah, you got to be able to compartmentalize, how you feel about music, especially if you're an open format DJ.
Give me another. Okay, so I don't
So
like Cardi
Beyonce-
B. So like, what was your example? Oh,
So
here
Beyonce-
we go. Okay, there it is. There it is.
Beyonce Knowles.
Fucking waste of space.
Oh.
A fucking
Ugh.
waste of time in the music whole black.
I don't know if North
I
Carolina.
muted him. I muted him. He's not going to talk. He's not allowed to talk about this anymore. I muted him.
I'm going to assume that North
There, I'm
Carolina.
back, bitches.
I'm going to assume that North Carolina is different, so you can get away.
It's not North
Oh,
Carolina.
South Carolina.
My job is done.
You're not from-
Everyone thinks Shorty lives
not-
in North Carolina.
You're not from
Mike,
where, like,
I'm
Petey
taking you off
Pablo-
my top 8, buddy.
Oh man, what am I gonna do? All right, South. I apologize. I always do that. I do. I like lump the Carolinas together. Yeah.
Everybody
Excuse
does.
me. South Carolina.
Joe Bunn is North Carolina. I am South Carolina.
All right. So South Carolina, right? So I don't know what the level of appeal for Beyonce is down there, but
Oh, they love her.
okay. All right.
They
Then
fucking love her.
then you got to embrace that a little bit. I mean, she's got some.
No,
Listen, you said you play EXO. I don't think I've ever played EXO before. Now, Crazy in
no,
Love.
I never said I played EXO
Okay.
by Beyonce. I like the EXO by John Mayer, the cover.
Okay.
So I'll play that during like dinner or
Right.
cocktail.
That's a good dinner
Right.
joint. I agree with that.
I did a wedding 2 weeks ago, and I did play "Break My Soul" only because it was on our must playlist, and I literally was like, the fuck,
Crazy, man.
fine.
That whole album.
I don't understand.
That whole album, and I don't.
The whole album's
whole album
garbage.
is
I went through it in
fire.
like 4 seconds.
Dude, I had a wedding in Colorado last month, and I'm on the road. I listened to it 3 times without skips.
Holy shnikes, man.
Not in a row, but like throughout different periods of the trip. And I'm like, I actually kind of bought into the hype. I actually thought more people were gonna like it, and I just feel like it's a very slow burner. Maybe she needs like a new concert on Netflix for like people to get it. But I'm like, this is one of the best. Honestly, this is one of the best dance albums from cover to cover, from song to song. The transitions are cool. It just the beats are great. Not everything. I was kind of like expecting that a lot of songs were gonna sound like "Break My Soul," but "Break My Soul" is the only song that sounds like that on the album.
She has another song that they're pushing. And I can't remember the name of it. It's garbage too, but it's
I'm thinking it's probably "Cuff It." Cuff It has.
yeah, I think
Cuff
that's
It
it.
has
It is
some-
Cuff It.
Yeah, that has some wedding appeal to me. Yeah,
I don't even know what it sounds like.
Yeah, no, I think it might take a little while. Yeah, one of my friends, DJ Big J, he goes, "No, this album is strictly for the LGBT community," and I was like, "Yeah, no, I get that. I agree, but I think everybody's going to be into it." And then I threw on Honey at this place called Havana in New Hope, PA, and like right as soon as like the first note hit on that, like 5 dudes came twirling onto the dance floor, and I was kind of like, all right, maybe this is for the LGBT community.
For the fact that they twirling,
They twirled
onto
onto the
dance
floor,
is the
yeah,
greatest
yeah.
description I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
Whirled
and
onto
they
the
loved
floor.
it. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know if like certain women are like resentful of her. Lyrically, yes, I could say this is not a masterpiece of an album, but from a dance perspective, from a DJ's perspective, I think this is I think it's an incredible album, and you're selling your audience short if you're not playing more Beyonce.
I think a lot of people were just upset about. I think DJs were very upset about Drake and Beyonce are making house a thing again, like it's ever gone anywhere.
Right.
But we do have to remember that, like, dentists know a lot about like all the tooth drama out there. I don't fucking know. Like, there's this new water pick or something. 9 out of 10 dentists like. We got to stop thinking about ourselves as like only professionals and start to remember that at the end of the day, we're in the service industry.
Absolutely.
Which means that, like, yeah, you may not like chicken enchiladas, but if you work at a Mexican-American restaurant, you're going to serve a shitload of enchiladas,
Agreed.
Like,
so I'm going to throw you some.
No, listen, if it's requested, if it's on the list, if it's, if somebody asks for it on the menu, yeah, cool. I'll
Right.
give it to you. But I'm
don't-
not going out of my way to play Beyonce,
But
I
here's
don't know,
just
whatever
some,
song.
Just some advice. I'll give you some because I actually put them on Notepad, but they're on my phone, so I can't access it right now. But I think I'll remember most of them.
It's weird. iPhone can do that. They can do two things at once. That's weird.
Oh, well, I'm not going to do that right now. Yeah, so
Oh my god.
and a lot of these, if you're quick mixing, a lot of these you could get in and out in like 30, 40 seconds. You get your
Bro,
point
that's what I was
across.
gonna say.
Countdown kills. Like girls freak out over Countdown. Check Up on It is great. Her cover Before I Let Go. I like playing the original with Maze and Frankie Beverly. Midway, like transition to the halfway point of hers. And then it kind of sets you up to play Candy by Cameo, which is great. There's so Love on Top kills, man. But,
Bro, I like open with Love on Top now because it has like that smooth bop, 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 bop. Bring the beat in. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, dude.
I'm gonna give
Igniter.
I'm gonna
Igniter.
I'll throw you one. This like mixes so perfectly, and because now we're in the business where we reveal all the songs that we mix together to everybody. So
Yeah.
I'll just throw it out there.
Are we?
Why not? Well, it just seems like on TikTok and everything.
I know.
Like yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So I like playing "Rock with You" by Michael Jackson. There's the bridge.
Ooh, okay.
When you get to the bridge of that and you start off Love on Top, it's like flawless. And then right as soon as she goes, bring the beat in, then you like echo out on Michael, and it's like you rock my world. It's really it's fire, and they're both in the same key. I think they're both like
Sick.
8A or something like that. I gotta look at it. But
What was the song I said I liked, Kevin, from Beyonce?
you like Crazy in Love,
That's it.
yeah. Which
That
I
one's
get.
fine.
Oh, it's still
Because you like Jay-Z.
Love on Top is okay. It's like I'm with you on that one because I'm with you and I'm with Kevin where like I would open with that.
Partition. How about that? It's the
Yeah.
second part of it. I don't play the first part.
Partitions, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Mike, did Columbia Records just pay you a bunch of money to talk great about Beyonce? What's
Beyonce
happening
doesn't
right now?
need my help at all. I'm trying to help anybody that singles out. Yeah, I remember I think it was like 99. Me and my DJ partner at the time, DJ Subliminal. We both had a ban on Blue by Eiffel 65 just because we hated it. Like and it was massive at the time, but we refused to play. Like we didn't even own it. Like because back then it's like CDs and records, and that's what it reminds me of. I'm like, man, we probably would have had a better party, back in '99 had we played Blue by Eiffel 65, despite us hating.
Now, listen up. Here's a story about a little guy that lives in a blue world. All day and all night, and everything he sees is just blue, like him, inside and outside.
Are you speaking about?
I'm just
me?
saying the lyrics. Yeah.
Oh, so okay, yeah. So
Sorry.
this is
terrible interruption.
This is what I love. This is what I love about the show, and I said this. Did I say that for the first time? Was that at DJX when I told you? I'm like,
yeah.
what I realized. I'm like, this is like the Seinfeld of DJ podcasts. because a lot of, and I'm okay if you have a format, that's cool. I think it's cool to follow. There's certain, and you got your dad jokes thing at the end, but for the most part, I had no idea what I was going to talk about today. So, and that's kind of what happens on Seinfeld. You have no idea where it's going to go. You don't know what the theme is right away, or what it's a show about nothing, and it's everything all at once.
And it's more than 30 minutes.
Yeah, and that's okay. Oh, that is a seg. You're a radio guy.
There's the segue. The segue.
This segue brought to you by gamer-fuel.com. Use the promo code DJ High Kevin for 175% off your order.
Just put the code in and let me know what it is, because frankly, I don't know what the percentage is. Wait. So actually, we do have. I got a giveaway from him. So let's take 2 minutes and talk about this. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Do it.
In a box, we have
full screen.
A Gamer Fuel, the exact same tumbler I use, and it's got a couple sample packs of some of their flavor. You can see it all in there. I'm not going to unwrap it to show you the flavors. It looks like we got like a watermelon, some kiwi watermelon or something in there. So we are going to do a giveaway, which is, I don't know yet.
On Instagram,
but we're going to do a giveaway on Instagram for our followers. So make sure that you are following Radio Shorty Podcast, and I think we'll just do it off of our followers. And we'll just kind of
I'm jealous of you because you get all this cool gamer-fuel.com stuff. And I'm just rolling around here with my Aquafina bottle,
Find somebody in your high school that started a company and ask them, if you're still tight with them. I mean, I wasn't really like overly still buddies with Jordan, but we started playing Rocket League together again. And that's literally how we started, doing this stuff again. He started watching me on Twitch all the time, and he was just like, hey, would you want to be a part of it? And I was like, yeah, dude, I would love to try and help promote. If we get one sale, I've helped him out, we have already,
like not somebody that I went to high school with, but maybe like, I don't know, the guy that owns gamer-fuel.com could slide in the DMs. And I just want a tumbler. I'm jealous. You've got one. You got two now.
You're our contest winner, Shorty. You win the contest. I'll figure something out for you, buddy. I'll figure something out. All right. I'll do it.
So I do. We were segging into this. I want to talk about this. Somebody on Facebook posted about podcasting and stuff, and I thoroughly enjoy what Iron Mike said about the show at DJ Expo, calling us the Seinfeld of podcast. And then I read this, and it does get in your head where you're like, are we doing it all wrong? So I'm going to read kind of part of the post from the person. I don't know if we should probably just leave names out.
Leave it out for now. Yeah.
Unless they would like to come on the show and talk about it. We have an hour and 15 minutes for them available. So the Facebook post reads, after the pandemic, I see more and more DJs starting podcasts. It sounds exciting at first, so I try to listen to each one, but I never get past 1 or 2 episodes. So I want to stop there and kind of give my opinion. It'd be like watching the pilot of Seinfeld, actually. The pilot of Seinfeld was actually, it was okay. The whole first season was actually, okay. And then the second season, they really got going. So if you have people that are starting a podcast, keep along the journey with them. Or my other thing would be like, if you subscribe to us and you're like, I wonder what episode 1 sounds like. I think Kevin will agree with me. Just be prepared, because where we are today compared to where we were at the beginning of the year was much different.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me of how much I miss the PhDJ podcast with Joe Bunn and Mike Walter. They always brought a good topic, are always engaging, mostly Mike. And the best part is they always stuck around 30 minutes. And to that, I'll react to this as well and say their show is much different than ours. So like the PhDJ podcast was like, here's a topic. We're going to talk about it for, 30 minutes and then we're out. I don't get to know really Joe that well. I don't know Mike that well in the show. I know them outside of the show. But I feel like here, like, my life. I hate Beyonce. That I don't live in North Carolina.
I know that now.
I get eggplant emojis in my DMs. So I feel like we're building this kind of character, or not even character, but this kind of family within the show. So that's why our show is not 30 minutes. because this is a family. You guys listen. We appreciate everyone that listens to this show. We appreciate the feedback. DJ X, Kevin can tell you, man, we literally after DJ X and after talking to all these people who listen to the show, we sat down. We're like, okay, so time to reevaluate how we do things and how things need to go. Yeah. Go back to his post. This brings me to my main point. No offense to everyone putting out amazing contents out there, but who has the time to listen to a podcast that's more than an hour long, let alone 2 hours or more?
You know who has the time? 50 people at least a week.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well, also, I just hate when people open up, and there's a couple ways that people do stuff like this. They'll be like, I want to start off by saying no offense to anyone. So that means you're about to try and offend me. Like, I don't want to tell you how to live your life, but here's how to live your life according to me. Like, that, just don't start off with that. Like, if you want to offend people, then say it, and that's fine. So that's basically what he went on to say. So, Shorty, I'm sorry to kind of...
No. I want you to, and Mike, chime in as well whenever you want. Just cut us off.
I think if that's not your deal, man, find a DJ podcast that is a half hour,
100%,
or
absolutely
do what I do.
Justin the DJ has an awesome podcast right now that's under 30 minutes every single time. And I can, if I go and I run 2 errands like I did just now, I stopped at one store and then I stopped to grab a coffee. I can listen to an episode in that little loop that I make, driving all of 10 miles. That's perfect. But Shorty, you're not a big movie fan, I've heard on this podcast that I listen to, right? You're not you don't watch movies all the time, do you?
What's a movie?
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So now you watch shows though, don't you?
Love some dude.
And would you say shows are about half an hour? Maybe movies are a little more like over an hour, 2 hours, something like that?
Yeah.
So maybe you have a style of media that you like to consume?
Yeah, it's opposite though. Like I'll listen to a 2-hour show. I listen to Joe Rogan all the time. I mean, I think
no, he can't be doing it right, dude. Podcasts shouldn't be over 30 minutes. Joe Rogan is wrong.
4 hours, some of his.
The number one podcast out of 4.5 million podcasts in the world is doing it completely wrong.
Right. I do want to shout out Justin, the DJ's podcast. It's called Social DJ Podcast. Just type that in, Social DJ Podcast. Awesome. I've been listening as well. And again, it's a 30-minute, just quick listen. But again, for us, and I think, Mike, you might relate to this as well because you're in New Jersey. Howard Stern is a massive kind of Northeast radio guy.
Oh, yeah, forever.
Coming from a radio background, obviously that was my king of all media go-to. In his shows, back in the day before, before COVID, honestly, I mean, dude, the news with Robin would last an hour and a half.
For sure.
People
were into
it. Right. And so, but also I understand that not everyone's going to listen to the Howard Stern show. They're going to be like, this is too long. Right. So they're going to go listen to a 30-minute podcast.
It's a strange criticism.
Yeah, I don't, listen, I don't know the person that or personally know the person that wrote this. I will say I love that Logan got into the
Logan
comments.
Went to bat, dude. Logan he was hammering nails in the bat before he showed up to that comment section. I was very excited for that. Drew Pierce just chimed in too, basically just taking the very high road and saying then you don't have to listen to it.
Yeah, you can break it up. Different,
you can. That was his one thing was if it's 90 minutes long, that's 3 30-minute episodes.
So that's what I do. I'll listen to the show, or I listen to the Drew and Fuse show, and then, if I have 20 or 30-minute driving here and there, and then I won't for a day or two, and then I get back in the car, I've got another ride, I'm back in listening to the show. So yes, there are shows that I'm behind on because I don't drive as much as maybe you guys do. I just think that. And again, I don't know if the post was to us, to the Drew and Fuse show, to the Hot Q's podcast. I don't know who. And honestly, I'm gonna talk to the audience for a second. Who gives a fuck? It's to me. I love doing this. When I started out with just me, and I was interviewing Bun, and then Kevin and I were talking about this. I was like, bro, there's nobody else I'd want to do this show with other than Kevin. And I've said that before. Bro, I would talk for 4 hours with Kevin on a podcast if he really had the time. And if people only listen to 2, fuck it. There's 2 more good fucking hours you didn't listen to.
Yeah.
He goes on to say, shout out to Alan Berg and Brian, and I'm going to butcher his last name, Beniasi.
Wanasisi.
Yes, I couldn't say his last name. The Traveling DJ Blend podcast for putting out amazing contents and always keeping it short, sweet, and straight to the point. We need more podcasts like these. I will say I did go into this person's comments and I said, listen, if you don't listen to the full 2 hours, you're missing this. And then I posted Logan peeing on our podcast. So just throwing it out there, people. If you don't get to the end, that was such a Nick Spinelli thing, people. If you don't get to the end of the show, you don't get to see Logan pee on our podcast.
Yeah, you miss out all the crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So,
there's so many different forms of media or medium, right? That we now are a part of, whether it's podcasting, whether it's actual live shows or live events, however you want to stroke it, Twitch, stuff like that. Different people do different things. There's some people on Twitch that don't DJ for like under 8 hours. Every single show that they have is over 8 hours. You're not going to be able to keep people as long, but you're going to be like a safe place that people can always come back to. I used to do longer sets. Now I pretty much do things only for an hour because I'm just don't have the time between all the different things that we've been doing here, But like at the end of the day, consume what you want to consume. And again, if you don't like Beyonce, then just don't worry about it. But maybe be a little less vocal about it, because unless you're ready for the criticism from other people, like Shorty, you're willing to take the criticism about not liking Beyonce. You're ready for it,
Well, it's because I know I'm right. So I'll be like, so at the end of the day, it's like,
So, but also you're willing to have the conversation. One thing that bugged me is that this person, I actually know him personally. I've done a number of things to help him out. And, I've gotten the thank yous and stuff like that. Just recently sent him my entire Amazon streaming list that I have all my lights and stuff on, and I was like, here's all my info. Here's everything that I use for this setup that I have. And then to see that happen, it left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. He's entitled to his own opinion, but also when we comment on it, reply, talk to us. Like the fact that he just kind of shelled up and only responded to the positive comments makes me feel some type of way about it. It's like you just want to spit your idea and you don't want to have a conversation about this. So that's not really fair to us, I don't think.
Dropped a grenade and then walked away.
Yeah.
Different strokes for different folks is what you said, huh, Kevin?
That's it, baby. That's it. That's what we were talking about earlier today. So just right now, we're at 57 minutes into the podcast. We've talked about half a topic of what we wanted to talk about with Mike.
Let's go.
But that doesn't mean that this isn't worthwhile, So maybe we should shelf this right now. Let us know what you guys think about this whole scenario. If you saw it playing out on Facebook in the comments, definitely. But the main reason that we were... Go ahead. Shorty.
Well, I want to say one more thing.
Okay.
If you're not doing it, don't criticize us. It'd be like if I walked into... What was that fucking place? The
Margaritaville?
No, not Margaritaville. The one that Iron Mike talked about. The
Tony Baloney's.
Tony Baloney. I almost said Tony Luke's. Tony Baloney's. It'd be like if I walked in there and it was like, what the fuck? What is all this? I started judging them. They might not have it right 100%. They might still be tweaking things. And again, we talked about that. That's what we're doing the show. But if I don't know if this guy does a podcast or a show or what. But don't judge us. Go
listen to Troy Miller's podcast.
Instead of judging, bro, come in and just drop a comment on the podcast page. Bro, love the clips. Again, we've said, if you don't listen to the show, fine, I don't give a fuck. If you're watching the clips, Josh Staley, says, hey, I don't listen to the show, but I watch the clips, and that's support for me. So any kind of support, hell, Jen Nelson's a goddamn P1 at this point.
P1, baby. She's
a dedicated soul and listener, and tags us, and every time she listens to the show, and I think that goes a longer way than kind of basically. In reality, this post basically calls out Nick Spinelli, because Nick Spinelli shows over 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
The Drew and Fuse show,
Hot Q's.
who else? The Hot Q's podcast. I mean, let's
Sips
not
and
even
ish.
put us into Sips and Ish. Let's not even put us into the equation because we're just a dumb Seinfeld podcast that's about nothing, right? Like,
Stop calling us dumb.
These are shows that have like legitimately, like, I walk away from the Drew and Fuse show. Like, I listened to Demand's episode, and Iron, I know you're friends with DJ Demand. I literally was like driving to Jersey listening to the Demand episode, like trying to take notes as I'm driving. Like, holy, like that's a good idea.
Nuggets,
like,
dude.
exactly.
Dropping nuggets, man. Yeah, I listened to that
Mike.
episode in Illinois.
Oh, dude, you get around.
You
man.
do.
See,
I
all
was on
these
my way to Colorado.
details that we're uncovering,
Yeah.
you know? Do you listen to the Road podcast, Mike?
Here and
the
there, yeah,
Reflections of a DJ?
Yeah, no, that's
So,
good stuff.
4 amazing individuals just talking the entire time, and they've trimmed down some of their episodes a lot, but when they have guests on, you know, sometimes that stuff will go 2 hours, and I love that type of stuff because, you know, in our area, we travel pretty far for just about every wedding. Like me specifically, minimum like an hour, unless it's 2 venues that are 25 minutes away from me. So to have that longevity of the episode, like, and that's one that I'm always taking notes. You know, Spinelli was on for like 2 hours. So are you telling me that a podcast that has gone 250 episodes is wrong?
And by the way, the road podcast is putting up some fucking big numbers, like
Huge
it's not-
numbers.
Yeah, it's not like they're every fucking
They
person's talking.
have
about. I told
four hosts as well as like 3 behind the scenes people. You know, like their stuff is so long, and I'm taking notes from them because they post their audio on one day and then the video on another day.
yeah,
So like,
I'd
you
love
know,
to
I
have them
don't.
on.
There's-
like I've
I
said it
just-
before.
I would be so scared because they are so great.
No,
you
they're
know,
good.
I
and
think
then
it'd
I'd
be
have to.
good.
It's an amazing show, but I know that, you know, they were at Beyond the Music, that one in Scottsdale, the show, the like conference. I don't know if you guys, that Spinelli was at.
Yep.
It was,
Yeah.
I don't even remember when it was. But they were there, and they announced that they're probably reaching the end of their run. You know,
Of the show,
yeah,
what?
like they're coming up on it. You know, so
what do you
yeah,
mean?
I mean,
they're
it's
how does a show end?
the PhDJ podcast just ended, didn't it?
I talked to Joe about it. I
We
literally
know
texted
you-
Joe.
We know
Joe,
your
Joe,
theory on it.
Joe, what are you doing? Joe's coming on next week. That's it. I'm texting him. He's coming on. We're
we
literally
have a
going to
duo
talk
cast
about
next
this. Oh,
I guess we can dump the duocast. That's fine.
I just
I just cracked my knee.
Anyway, like I didn't know that they were into this show. That kind of sucks.
They were talking about it. I don't know if there's like a date where they're like, we're done. You know, we're like a number where we're done. But you know, that's. I
When
don't think
are
anybody
we-
ever
when are
wants
we
anything
done?
to end.
When
I
are
was
we
about to
done?
ask you that. I don't
Can
ever
we-
want to end this.
Can Iron Mike be the last episode? Can it just be it?
This is it. You want to end
Put
on
away to-
29
Yeah,
or
we're just
28?
done.
I don't even know what number we're on.
Nah,
We're
man,
so
it's- you
fucking
guys are
deep.
just
We're so deep.
You're just getting started, and
We're just getting started.
yeah, I'm
You know?
happy to be here before you like really, really blow up. So this is cool.
Dude, we're really happy to have you on. We got to talk about other stuff. I know we want to talk about this forever and ever and ever and ever. But I do want to touch on a couple other things that we definitely. So your
Are you
Bob
looking
Right
at the one I'm
playlist.
looking at? Oh.
Well, we're gonna get to that one after. I just want to talk. You do your Bop Right playlist, which I think is one of the. It's like 800 songs long, isn't it?
It's more. Yeah, I think I'm
It
up
is?
at like it's over 1,000, and it's like 78
Holy
hours.
shit,
And,
dude,
and
that's great.
Sometimes, and feel free to let me know if like adding too much. Do you feel like it waters down the concept at all, or
It should definitely be just 30 minutes. That's actually the cap for
Oh,
everything.
wow.
Just 30 minutes.
Wow. Nice.
Oh my god! the
You know, when I
flames.
sit down, ladies and gentlemen,
No, that was good.
Kevin's
I hate
face.
that joke.
That was good.
I hate that joke.
Yeah. So it was just something I started because I worked at Rite Aid in 2000 to 2004, and they shared a similar service. The exact same service was called Smart Source Radio that ShopRite had, and my boy Derek Taylor, he worked at ShopRite, so we would like randomly text each other and be like, "Did you hear?" We would call something like "Life in a Northern Town" by Dream Academy a Smart Source banger. Circles in the Sand by Belinda Carlisle. That's a smart source banger, stuff like that.
So deep.
And it just kind of became a joke between me and him about these songs, because when you're working at the store, these songs like rotate pretty frequently. What's that? The Dion Ferris song, "Hopeless." You hear it. That's like the only place you hear some of these songs, like in your life, because you're not listening, especially when you're like 18, 19. You're not listening to that. So now that you hear it, like for me, like 20 years later, there's this nostalgia factor to it. So you mix that in with just the idea of like, because I'm always, in my household, my wife is not a fan of the grocery store. She'll hook up the list. She makes the list, sends me, and I actually enjoy going. I'll take either one of my two smaller kids, either Audrey or Milo, or sometimes both. And now they're kind of going a little bit more upbeat, more like incorporating 90s and 2000s, pop dance, some R&B, some funkier stuff. So the entire playlist is just kind of like the culmination of all of that. And I had posted about it about a year ago. I think May of 2021 I had first started it up, and I think I started it with maybe like 50 or 60 songs before I posted it. And people like really jumped aboard, like they were really into it, and it became something that, like, when people would see me in public or like out somewhere, like, oh man, Shop Right Bangers or Bop Right, like I'm like, I can't believe this is the thing like that people are like attaching me to, not to say like, oh, I've done so many cool things, but it's so random to me.
Well, I think that's what we said when you came up. I was like, oh my god, it's the Bop Right guy.
Yeah, and that's
DJ
fine.
Expo.
I'm okay with that. Whatever people can associate. I feel like if you got something, man, run with it. Which is what I've done. People. When they compliment it, or if they, I've taken a lot of suggestions too, and I'll add them. Somebody recommended something this morning, and I added it right away. And I kind of want it to be like a community thing.
Whoops.
And there are
I
other,
love that, dude.
Yeah, and there are other. I could have named it like grocery store bangers or something like that, but I even did like the little graphic with like the old school logo on the turntable.
I was about to ask you if you made that. That's awesome.
I did, and I feel like that's a huge hook. Like when people see that, especially if you're like something, if you're from like the '80s, if you grew up in the '80s and you remember how the ShopRite logo looks, that's nostalgia in its sense. And to have like the DJ like scratching it,
It's funny because like when I've always thought it was like you walk into like a CVS or Walgreens and they always play kind of like Tears for Fears or that type of stuff. And I've always said, I'm like, man, and not that it's gonna happen because there'll be like robots at that time, but like I was like, man, if I retire, like I just want to work at a Walgreens for like 4 hours a day just because of the music, like just because it's got like that. And your playlist also reminds me of, and again, just coming from radio background, like back in the day, radio DJs in like the 80s and 90s had that like pukey voice, where they talk up the record like, all right, everybody, welcome to your Friday on Z100. Here we are. It's Tears for Fears. It's like every time I hear an intro in my head, I think of like those Elvis Duran DJs like back in the day that would talk like that.
They call it, like,
and again, when I drive to Jersey, like your playlist is also in my rotation, so I definitely like go through and pick back up where I left off, in your playlist, which is it's a weird concept, man. I could listen to 30 minutes of your playlist and then go listen to something else and come back.
Anytime
it's
you
insane.
Want. Yeah, me and when you brought it up on the show, and I want to talk about Demand in a minute, but when you brought it up on the show and I shared that video, it definitely I got a nice little bump from that, so I appreciate that. And me and my wife have a mutual friend named Jesse, who's a huge supporter of the Bop Right. Has it playing on, in the doctor's office that she works at. Funny. And she'll like she's put it in some different TikToks, and that really like I think it's somewhere like 375 which to me like
378,
356.
I'm sorry.
For me to not use any like form of advertising, just occasionally post about it and then have like you guys mention it and Jesse mention it on TikTok and a couple other people.
Well, you got local New Jersey news coverage from it, and you have the link from the Trentonian.
Yeah.
So it has 1,133 songs, and it's 78 hours and 30 minutes. So I can honestly, like, that's 24, 48, 72 hours is 3 days, right? That's over 3 days of music. Like,
No
so you're
skips.
saying I could have this playing for over 3 days and I would never hear a repeat. That's amazing. And this includes right at the top, like Manic Monday, my favorite song, Young Turks by Rod Stewart. That's like top 5 songs of all fucking time.
Banger.
You got Bowie on here, you got Hall & Oates, you got Madonna, just to hit like the big hitters, but then you also like you have a bunch of other playlists too that are really deep cuts, and I love these. Like the '01 Hip Hop Deep Dive.
Oh yeah.
It's 165 songs of just hip hop from 2001. That's 11 hours of music.
I do want to talk about that. Let me like just put the brakes. 2 things
Yeah.
I just thought of.
Wrap up what you want to talk about and then go into whatever. Man.
Yeah. Because those are fun to make too. I had a wedding, a groom that we had booked out directly from the company. You know, a lot of times I'll get bookings that come directly from me, where they know me, they've heard me somewhere or what have you, and they're like, okay, I got to have Iron Mike. But in this case, they had just, I don't remember how they found us, but it was just like a Google search or The Knot or Wedding Wire or whatever. And, sometimes when you have brides and grooms that come from that area and you have that conversation, you have that meeting, it's a little cold at first. Like, it's kind of like bland, like you don't really know each other, you don't know each other, how I'm gonna be or whatever. And he had sent me his playlist of what he wanted, what him and his bride to be wanted at their wedding. And I'm looking at it, and there's a lot of songs that intersected with Bop Rate. And I told him right away, I go, you know what, man? I said, I have a playlist I think you might like. And I sent it to him, and he was like, "No, this is great! Like, I love this. This is exactly what I've been looking for." And his fiance endorsed. He goes, "Oh yeah, he's been looking for a playlist like this." And he shared it on Facebook. That got a huge, I think like 60 people liked it that day. I was like amazed.
Wow.
Yeah, he's well liked in his community, so that was great. And I had something else. I don't know. I could go on it. But yeah, the other playlist, yeah, man. The deep dives are cool because I feel like revisiting this stuff, I come up with, or I'll hear something that I haven't thought about playing in a long time, and adding that to the list, like, kind of keeps you fresh. But also, like, even though it's like nostalgia, you're not playing the same, this is how we do it, like Hip Hop Hooray. Insane. You know what I mean? Like, you're not always playing.
Yeah.
So doing this, you can kind of have that exercise, and it brings you to a different time as well, which is fun.
Dude, you go so deep. I'm scrolling all the way down.
And it's in like mixed.
You have a pot.
What's that?
It was gonna say you have. I saw this the other day. Somebody was like talking about proms or homecomings or something, and they were like,
"Oh, I want to talk about that." Yeah.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about the playlist that I just found?
Yeah, explain it.
So the title that you have here is "Songs to Yell To at
that
the
one.
Prom 2022," and they're all bangers. Like Broccoli, you've got I Spy, you've got Bodak Yellow, this is a definite high school prom or high school homecoming type. Which, by the way, like when you're doing a homecoming, DJs, why are you hitting us up like the week of?
Oh,
like, hey,
always,
what are they listening
always.
to? What are we doing here? Why are we doing? Like, I saw a thing. This was months ago during prom season. It was like one of the DJ idea sharing pages. And it was like, hey, I got a prom tomorrow. Like, what are they listening to? And I'm like, okay, first off, like, are you just trolling us? Like you really know, but you're just trying to get a reaction, or are you about to walk into your prom tomorrow and not know what to play?
Those people exist, but I do try to help instead of being a dick. Like, there are a lot of DJs that are horrific in those. I feel like I've left a couple groups or forums just because, like, that's all people were doing. Like, my boss Greg had asked for some Egyptian music suggestions, so it's like people are coming at him with, oh, here's Walk Like an Egyptian, and here's Egyptian Lover, and it's like none of these are really Egyptian music. And it's just like you're not contributing. You're just stirring the pot. You're just being a dick to be a dick, and you don't have any information. That's really the answer.
I'm
Yeah.
that guy. That's me.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah, like the I hate that attitude. The
jokers in like the serious comments,
I'm really against the idea of. I've seen it so many times where they'll say, "If you don't know how to do that party, maybe you should give it to somebody else." And it's like, yeah, but sometimes people have to do something for the first time.
Right.
I had my first quinceañera at some point. Now I could kill it. But back, 15, 20 years ago, whenever I did that for the first time, I probably wasn't the best at playing Latin music. And you could fill in the blank with any other kind of party or genre.
Yeah. Or you can look at the flip side and be like, I did my first quinceañera, and then I realized that I'm not the right person for it.
Right. Yeah.
And that's just not for me. That's totally fine.
I do agree, do put in the work to figure this stuff out.
But at least try. Literally, at least try, Yeah.
But
Bollywood events were scary the first time I did it, but all I did was just Google Bollywood music for like an hour, once a day for like a week straight. And I was just like, like you listen to playlists, you start to hear the same things over and over again, like that stuff can resonate. And at the end of the day, you don't need to play all Bollywood music if it's like a 50-50 party,
No, they got bangers, man. But I do want to shout out DJ Demand, for bringing up the playlist. I think actually Shorty brought it up, and then Demand kind of filled you guys in on it. I don't know if you mentioned he DJ'd my wedding.
I don't
think
he
he
said.
did.
Yeah.
Demand DJs a lot of DJs' weddings.
He loves to.
Scooter.
He loves to.
He does.
There's
Scooters.
He did Scooter's wedding. He did Spinelli's little brother's wedding, which is essentially, kind of like you're getting the nod from Nick. That's pretty great there. So now he did yours too.
He would rather.
That's awesome.
He would rather, be invited as the DJ. Like he almost feels slighted if you don't pick him as a DJ versus like if you want him to be a guest. I'm in the camp of like whatever you want is cool with me. I'll definitely DJ. I'd love to, but if you would rather have me chill and be a guest, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I think if I ever get married, I would want Demand and Kevin.
That's a good
just
combo.
that way.
There
That
you go.
way, like Demand could take some time. Like if Demand wants to end the night, and Kevin, if you wanted to begin the night. But I
I
don't
would
know,
love
like,
to open for him at a wedding, especially, dude.
That'd
Right,
be great.
but I don't know. I don't know if you guys will even be. You guys will probably be retired by the time I find a girl
Oh,
that
come
wants
on,
to.
man.
Wants to
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It took an hour and 17 minutes for Shorty to complain on the podcast this week.
It happens.
do it. No. It was pretty much 15 minutes in with Beyonce. We were there
Oh,
pretty
that's
quick
true.
with the complaint.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
man,
Mike
you never
definitely
know.
poked the
like,
bear.
This stuff just kind of happens overnight sometimes, so be ready. But I'll bring this full circle. I actually met the man at the expo.
Oh shit!
Yeah, he was doing a set, and I was thinking in my head, I was like, for me and Maureen's wedding, if I was to pick somebody that's like I feel plays similar to me, like if I was to like put me up there, I'm like, this is the guy. And so we went with him. He gave me a killer rate that he could only do. This is pre-SCE DJ Demand, and Bobby LaFauci was the MC. He had just started with SCE, and so he was just kind of getting in. And Demand was, I guess, maybe a year or two out from joining, or he was pretty close. But one of the best pieces of advice, and this is good, Shorty, remember this. And he'll probably tell you this anyway. If you do go with Demand and Hi Kevin as your DJs.
I have
He
to
goes-
find a girl first. That's the
Right,
first
okay,
thing.
that's the-
Put
That's
the cart first.
bridge.
Cart before the horse.
Yeah.
Cart before the horse. Nope. You already booked me.
First-
I'll set the. I'll put the date down. I'll mark it down.
First hurdle to jump. I remember we're out at dinner, just kind of going over ideas and stuff, and he goes, it was just me and him. This is crucial. He goes, do a set. He goes, I want you to do a set that night. And I'm like, man, that's weird because it's like we only have so much time, and it's like a big deal.
Yeah.
You got to be with your wife, and you got to talk to family. You got to be around friends. Maybe hit the dance floor a little bit, whatever. And he goes, no, man, just like 3 songs, 5-10 minutes, man. And I was like not into it, and that's kind of for me, like that's something I would normally embrace. And plus, I didn't think my wife was going to be here, my wife to be. was going to be about it. And I brought it up to her and I said, hey, Demand suggested that we do this. I did a set. And she goes, oh, I figured you were going to anyway. I was like, oh, really? I'm like, well, how long did you think I was going to spin? She goes, I don't know, like a half hour. I was like, what? No, I'm like,
What?
yeah, I go like 5-10 minutes. She goes, oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, no problem. So he tells me like a specific time, when to do it. This is like after dinner. He's like mid-dance set. And I start going, this is at Hamilton Manor, and I start going up the side staircase, and I could tell people know what I'm about to do. And you could feel the crowd like building up, and it's like this explosion. I had never heard a reaction like that before. And it's funny, it's like you're in front of all these people, you love and you've known forever. And you're more nervous than you would be. Like I played the pool once, and I was more nervous at my wedding than playing at the pool.
At the Trop?
No, at Harris Pool.
Oh, okay, Harris. Right.
You know what'd be funny though is if Mike, you got up there and like people are like, yeah, he's gonna mix or spin, and all of a sudden you just grab the mic and you're like, hey, Demand, can you play Usher? Yeah, that was like what you did, and then you just left.
Yeah, I think I did like. I want to say I did something like Be Faithful, like I did the Black Sheep part. I think Hip Hop Parade came on, maybe like This Is How We Do It, like very early 90s, like dance rap.
100 BPM.
100, yeah, around the 100 BPM range. People, yeah, they were into it, man. It was so I appreciate that he had recommended that.
Demand's been around the block, obviously. He's what, like 63, 64?
Oof. Well,
like
now I'm the old man. I'm the old man on our block. We used to both DJ on Easton Ave together at Rutgers in New Brunswick.
Yeah.
So he was at Old Queens, and Old Queens was like the best forever. I was at the Golden Rail, and I'd say we were probably around number 2, number 3. I'd like to hear his opinion on that. But he would troll me a lot, like, send me a text of like the line outside. I'm like, I got like 5 people in the bar, and then we get like, the overfill, like the overspill later, of all the people, of all the, college kids. But yeah, so he's, moved on from doing Old Queens. So now I'm at Huey's nightclub because Golden Rail had closed during the pandemic, then they sold. So now I think they're going to reopen soon, but now I'm very comfortable at working at nightclub. It's an awesome place. I was there last night. I can't believe I actually had this much energy after last night.
Is this where you guys did edibles? Is this where this story comes in? Is you and Demand in the
dude,
in the alley?
Killing the segues.
You're like on fire with the segues. All right, so yeah, I'll tell that story. That was at a private party about 6 years ago in some random town.
Jesus.
It was a private party. But here's the thing. This is key. The host gave him to me.
How many?
So, I'm DJing, right? And she's kind of like an older hippie chick. And this is like Northwest Jersey. And she comes up to me and my partner, who's not a DJ, but just kind of like he was good to like take requests, like field requests, and like relay them to me while I'm mixing. Help me carry in some gear, drive if necessary, that kind of stuff. So he's hanging out with me, and she comes with 2, and I've never had a brownie in my life, like a pot brownie, and I'm just like, yeah, sure, yeah. And he's not into it. He doesn't do anything. So I take the one, and he goes, and I always told him, I'm like, if somebody we're working for like gives you something, don't be rude, just take whatever it is. And even if you don't like it, just put it to the side, like. He's not a drinker. I'm like, if it's a shot, just throw it in the bush. Don't be like, no, I don't do that. Whatever.
Mike's DJing and some guy comes up, here's some heroin for
I
you.
knew that was coming. I had a feeling of like, I know that's coming. Yes. Okay, shoot up, man.
Get right in the arm.
Tie me off, bud. Yeah.
No, but you know what I mean. I think you guys get that. So he's like, nah, man, I'm not doing this. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, and I think like a half hour had gone by, and I didn't feel anything yet. So I was kind of like, yeah, I'll take that other one.
Oh,
so,
no.
Yeah, I didn't know. I had no idea about the delay. Okay.
Oh, no.
So now it's like 45 minutes, an hour or so. She comes back with 2 more. Same process. I'm still like, yeah, I kind of feel something, but sure. And then he goes again, yeah, man, I don't want this. I go, okay. Then I don't know how much time elapsed after this. All of a sudden it was just like, beer, like just gone. Like, and I'm dropping the needle. Songs are ending, after the time elapsed. He's like, dude, are you okay? And I'm like, it's like somebody poured acid on the footage of like my memory. Because it's like all of a sudden I go from doing the party to laughing hysterically in the front seat of the car. And all of the gear is in the car. And I had nothing to do with bringing the gear into the car. Yeah.
Oh, no.
But she was higher than me. So everything was good. And
it's the best 5-star review you've ever gotten.
Yeah, no ramifications.
Oh my God.
Hey, she was the one that was, supplying it. But yeah. So yeah, that ride home, man, I'm just laughing out of my mind. That's one of the worst.
Dude, Mike's so just funny. Laughing at things that like you normally wouldn't laugh at. You just stop at a red light and look at it and just start like busting out laughing.
Screaming laughing. And he's like, dude, it's not funny. Like, what are you doing? You're like kicking my feet in the air, just out of control. Yeah. I don't recommend doing that. Yeah, there you go.
Picture it's you in the front seat with your feet just flailing like a bicycle.
That was a good impression.
Thank you. I hurt my elbow doing it. I don't know how.
I've never done 4 edibles at once. That would be
I would never again.
That would be a trip of a lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, especially homemade, you just never know the actual amount that's in it, right? Oh man. Yeah. Well, kudos to you. I guess I have to eat my words a little bit and say that maybe edibles aren't the way to go when you DJ and you get a little high.
Pace yourself.
It's the heroin.
Pace yourself.
The heroin.
Pace yourself, definitely. I think the only time that I've like really DJ'd high has been on Twitch, and I basically just forget that the chat is there, and I'll be like, oh my God, wait, how long has it been since I've said anything? And there's one person watching, because that's what they're there for, is to like talk with you. They don't care about the music you're playing.
Yeah.
You know?
No, they interact with you.
Absolutely.
God, and your Twitch shows more than 30 minutes. That's insane, man. That's crazy.
I like to think I'm successful.
That's
I like
the running theme. This should be called the episode that isn't 30 minutes.
Dude, we're gonna do something. We're gonna definitely
the segment that is not 30 minutes long that we love to do at the end of every show. It's one of Kevin's favorite. We used to do it during the radio show, and then I got fired from radio.
You got canned.
I got all the way almost to the end without saying it. And
almost.
I had to say it. It's time for our favorite segment. It's called Dad Joke Thursday. Mike, do you have any jokes for us today?
I'm good at spontaneous dad jokes. Like my 16-year-old daughter will we'll say something, like her parade got canceled because of rain or something like that, and then like a minute later, yeah, sorry, I hate the rain on your parade. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, we have
that's
that. Nice. We have that kind of humor, but I'm not good at I don't have like a bag of dad jokes. I sent a couple in that I looked up and I thought were funny, but yeah, do your thing.
I do think that a lot of the fun of dad jokes is really more the hold on a second. What the hell is going on?
I have a joke today. I don't know if you guys know.
You do? Oh, Shorty, rip it, dude. I'll pull up the one that Mike has, and then I'm gonna try a different format for one because you haven't liked mine so much lately. But Shorty, you want to open it up or do you want to close it?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I'll open it. This has nothing to do with politics. We're not trying to go down that road, but things have been kind of different these days. You can't get product, and some stuff is going on. So figured this dad joke is a little appropriate. Hey, Kevin and Mike, did you know that air used to be free at the gas station, but now it's $1.50? Do you know why?
Why?
Kevin? You already know it.
I want you to say it.
Mike? Inflation.
Yikes.
Get it? Because, right now we can't get anything, from China and from every place because, there's
Which,
no
by
product.
the way, gas is under $4 in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I'm glad things started to go down when I was driving out to Colorado. DJ.
It feels good, man.
It's like $250 here. Yeah. Just does that deserve a two? Yeah.
That
move
deserves
down.
the sad trombone.
Come on, move on down.
No, you're moving up here. You're moving up here.
All
right, so,
move up there.
We do. If anybody is going to be on the show soon, we do a pre-podcast interview where we do ask, "Do you got any good jokes for real though? Bring your best dad joke or write no thanks below, and we'll cover you." Mike did contribute one. He said, "My daughter Jules hit me with this one when she was 8. How do you find Will Smith in the snow?" Shorty?
Say it one more time.
How do you find Will Smith in the snow?
You look for him slapping Chris Rock across the face.
I saw. You had the first few words. You look for Fresh Prince.
Oh, that was like 11 out of 10. That was good. That was really good.
When she said it,
good
it
one,
was
right?
like, oh, okay.
Dude, the kids come up with the best ones. Like Jen Nelson's daughter, the Harry Styles joke was great. Like yours was great. That was, yeah.
Dude, I tell that joke anytime my couples feel like, or I start to sense that they're getting like a little stressed out about the whole process of like, you know, like if I meet with them one time and they're not like, they don't have all their details together. I'm like, listen, I'm so chill about this whole thing. I'm going to tell you a dad joke. We're going to make this like a whole joke
That's
thing.
good. That's
you know?
good. That's good. Little.
Bro, it's a great
nugget.
stress reliever.
Yeah, I like
you know, like at the end of the day, they're talking to their photographer, they're talking to their planner, and those type A people, you know, you can be type A in the DJ world where you have like very organized everything, but at the end of the day, they want to have fun with you all the time. And that's my goal. It's like, if we're not having enough fun, then I got to tell more dad jokes, you know? So yeah, the watermelon sugar high one is definitely great. Hi. So I'm going to tell a slightly longer one here, and I'm going to see if Shorty likes this format again, because he has liked longer jokes.
All right.
So
we're listening.
a farmer buys a young cock, a rooster. All right, maybe I should use rooster, but I like cock better. Wait.
Oh.
Oh, God damn it. I'll be on TikTok on there. Yeah. So here we go. As soon as the farmer gets home with this young cock, the cock fucks all 150 of his hens. The farmer's a little impressed. At lunch, the cock again goes and screws all 150 hens. Next day, it's fucking the ducks and the geese. Sadly, later in the day, the farmer finds the cock lying on the ground, half dead, vultures circling over its head. The farmer yells, "You deserve it, you horny bastard!" The cock slowly opens one eye, looks up at the sky, and whispers, "Shh, they're about to land." Shorty, you don't get jokes. You just don't get jokes. Like that's, I'm convinced you just don't get them.
No, I
don't know if I
totally understand. Yours
He's
was
gonna fuck the vultures.
Oh, there you go.
He's playing dead. All right, maybe we should retire dad jokes.
Yeah. That was. No, we already retired. What was the other thing we did? We were retired. We retired dad jokes. We got nothing.
All right.
Do you mean to tell you? Just redeem yours? Do you mean to tell you my other one?
Yeah, sure. Go on Google and find your first dad joke.
Excuse me.
I see your white screen popping up on your face, and like I know you have Google pulled up.
Mike, since Kevin's being an asshole, I'm gonna talk to you. Okay, okay, Mike.
Let's go.
Mike, I want to let you know, Mike, I love Amazon. It's one of my favorite fucking websites. It's gonna put all mom and pops out of business. I don't fucking care. I love Amazon. Okay, I want to let you know that I ordered a chicken and an egg from Amazon. I'll let you know.
What?
That's how it feels, Shorty.
Oh, you want to see what comes first? Okay. What shows up to your house first? Wow.
Mike's reaction literally was like
2-day shipping.
Took me a second.
All right. Hey, well, Mr. DJ Iron Mike, you want to let everybody know where they can find you?
Yeah, at DJ Iron Mike NJ. That's Instagram, Facebook, all this stuff. I do have a TikTok. It's building. I want to really get into that. Like once I get the upgrade on the phone. I know people will say, "Oh, do it on your regular." No, I know the limitations of this camera, and I would. Although it's looking great today.
You do look good, man.
Looks good.
But yeah, no, this was awesome because I've done some other podcasts and I always end up getting into the origin story, and I feel like it's like, which is cool, and that's a good story for another day. Um,
There you go.
but it's like when they remake the Spider-Man movies, and every time they make a new Spider-Man movie, it's like the origin story over and over again. So, yeah, it is.
I don't know.
Those are some good stories, but like the whole point of all of this was that this show just it just glides into topic to topic, and you never know where it's going, but then you come away from it with some stuff, and it's a good time.
Well, and there's things we didn't cover, and I know we're ending the show right here, but I want to have you back on to talk to you more about the stuff we didn't cover, including, and here's a tease for everyone, for when Mike comes back on, why they used to call you DJ Bacon. Am I getting that correctly?
There you go. But no, that never. All right, real quick. Now I could do this pretty quickly. Yeah, growing up, yeah, bacon was like kind of like, it was like made fun of. It wasn't pop culture like the thing that happened, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. So like at the time, we lose Kevin.
He's still there.
Oh, okay.
He's hanging out.
I got you.
Yeah.
So
I muted Kevin. I'm tired of Kevin now, so I muted him.
my original DJ name when I first started was DJ Sizzlin', which is like a play on bacon, and people were like, that's so corny. It's not. Yeah, nobody's gonna like that name. And then one day, this Iron Mike just hit me. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm not Mike Tyson. I'm not. It's a big guy, but I feel like it was like something I wanted to strive to be, like mentally, like, and as a DJ, like this guy has it. He's a hardworking DJ. Like that's kind of like synonymous with that name. But then later, it's like bacon becomes like the biggest thing on the planet, to the point where like I show my ID or I show my credit card or debit card, and people are like, "Whoa, your name's Bacon," and it's like it goes so many different ways. Like people talk about how much they love bacon or Kevin Bacon or whatever. And I'm like, man, I should have just called myself DJ Bacon. I would be making so much more money.
I mean, I like the Iron Mike.
Cool.
I do.
Yeah,
I kind of like Iron Mike over Bacon.
It just sticks.
Get it? Like bacon?
It sticks like to a pan. Yeah, well, sometimes I regret it. There's a local Catholic school, and their mascot's the Iron Mikes. So I'll do like a reunion. The Trenton Catholic.
Really?
Yeah, they're the Iron Mikes, and it's like 5 minutes from my house. So if I'm doing some local thing, and there's like anybody that's in their like 40s or 50s, they'll go, "Hey, did you go to Trenton Catholic? Did you go to McCorston?" They've changed names. Did you go to McCorston? Did you go to St. Anthony's? And is that why your name is Iron Mike? And it's like, at this point, I just want to lie. And they'd be like, "Yeah, I did. Class of 99.
Just lie.
Yeah.
Always lie.
Yeah, class of 99. And, but I
You should
always.
just look him dead in the eyes and be like, "I was a nun."
Yeah.
And then just
They named the school after me.
Oh, there you go. That's a left turn. That's a crazy left
Exactly.
turn. So, yeah, I'm usually honest, and I'll be like, "Oh, no, I just thought it was a cool name," and they always come away like, "Oh, okay," like all disappointed. So, yeah, I'm gonna start lying about it.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Well, we appreciate you being on.
Yes.
This has been fun. We could obviously have gone a lot more places, but this is already 3 30-minute episodes, so we don't want to upset anybody. But that does it. That does it for this episode, everybody. So, yeah. Mike, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
Shorty,
you for having me.
I love you to death, brother.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram so Kevin can give away his gamer-fuel.com prize.
Yes, you have until this episode releases. Wait, that's not going to work.
So then how would that work?
So we'll do it before the next episode releases. So you want to be following us, and then so this will come out the 13th, and then so you have until September 20th
or
to follow us.
If you're listening to this in like January 2023, we already gave it away.
You're shit out of luck, buddy. Sorry.
Just let you know.
P1's winners. That's going to do it for the Radio Shorty podcast with me and
DJ
our lovely guest,
Kevin.
Iron Mike. And this is now DJ. Bye, Kevin.
Please remain seated.
Thanks
for checking out the Radio Shorty podcast with DJ Hi Kevin. New episodes drop every Tuesday wherever you listen to podcasts, as well as videos on our YouTube page. For exclusive clips and highlights, check out our Instagram and TikTok at Radio Shorty Podcast, and we will see you next Tuesday.